Hi, welcome to this tutorial. Today we are going to go through IGCSE paper June 2019, variant 3.2, paper 3 core. Question number 1, A1, write 26% as a decimal. So you just put it in the calculator, it is 0.26. A2, write 0.48 as a fraction. So it's 48 over 100. You can leave it like that or simplify it. 1b, 1. A fraction that is equivalent to 5 over 9. You can write any fraction, multiply 9 by 2 and 5 by 2. You will get 10 over 18. Or multiply by 3, the up and the down number. You will get 15 over 27. So anything is right. B2, the seventh odd positive number. You know the positive numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. If you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 13 is your seventh odd positive number. B3, a decimal number that is larger than 0.0467 but smaller than 0.0468. Write down the small number 0.0467. After 7 you can put in any number, maybe 1, 2, 3. All these numbers will be less than 0.0468. 1c. Find the value of cube root 5112. 5112 cube root can also be written as this. When you put this in the calculator, you will get 8. Now you have 6 to the power of 8 over 2 to the power of 6. Put this in the calculator, you will get 26244. These are basically very easy questions. You just need the use of a calculator. C3, 7 to the power of 0. Anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Okay. Now 1D. Find the first even multiple of 7 that is greater than 100. So let's check. It has to be greater than 100. We can check 7 times 12 will give you 84. So it's obviously less. 7 times 14 will give you 98. That is still less. And then 7 times 16, it will give you 112. So 112 is your answer. The reason I'm multiplying only by even numbers is because we want even number in our answer. 1a. From the list, write down the irrational number. Irrational numbers are numbers that cannot be written as a fraction. So we will try writing these as fractions. 6 to the power of negative 1 will give us 1 over 6. Square root 10, when you put in the calculator, you will not be able to write it as a fraction. 8.97 multiplied by 10 to the power of negative 3 will give us a fraction. This is already a fraction, and square root of 64 is 8. 8 is also written as a fraction, that is 8 over 1. So we know that the answer is going to be square root 10. The next question. 80 students each record the name of their mathematics teacher. The number of these students taught by Mr. House and by Miss Patel are shown in the bar chart. Okay, so this is Mr. House and this is Miss Patel. A. How many more students are taught by Miss Patel than by Mr. House? We can see that Miss Patel has 18 students and Mr. House has 14 students. So it is 18 minus 14, which is 4. 2b. 15 students are taught by Mr. Smith. Twice as many students are taught by Mrs. Brown than by Mr. Jones. Use this information to complete the bar chart. We can see that each line is 2. So 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 15 is going to be somewhere here. This is going to be 14. 15 is going to be somewhere here. So that is represented by Mr. Smith. They have also asked us to complete the bar chart for Mrs. Brown and Mr. Jones. Twice as many students are taught by Mrs. Brown than by Mr. Jones. If the number of students taught by Mr. Jones is X, the number of students taught by Mrs. Brown is going to be double that. So it is going to be 2x. Total number of students are 80. So let's write down here the total number of students, which are 80. Out of that, Mr. House is 14. Miss Patel is 18. Mr. Smith is 15. And Mr. Jones is X and Mrs. Brown 2x. 14 plus 18 plus 15 will give us 47, and x plus 2x, 3x. This is equal to 80. Now we have to find x. So 47 is positive. When we bring to the other side, it will become negative. 3x is equal to 33. This here is a multiply. If I bring to the other side, the 3 will become divide, and x is equal to 11. So Mr. Jones is 11. 11 will be here. So how much will Mrs. Brown be? 11 times 2, 22. So we have finished making the bar chart. For question number C, they are asking write down the mode. Mode is the set of data values that is appearing the most often, or that has the highest frequency. In this case, Mrs. Brown has 22. So our mode is Mrs. Brown. 2D. One of these students is chosen at random. Work out the probability that this student is taught by Mr. House. Total number of students taught by Mr. House are 14. And the total number of students are 80. So 14 over 80. In D2, we are supposed to find the probability of the student not taught by either Mr. House or Mr. Patel. The students taught by Mr. House are 14 and by Miss Patel 18. So if this we subtract from 80, we will get the number of students that are not taught by Mr. House or Mr. Patel, and that is 48. Probability is always written as a fraction or decimal. So this is the outcome we want, 48 over the total possible outcomes, that is the total number of students, which is 80. In E, they are asking us to show this information in a pie chart, and we have to work out the sector angle for Miss Patel. When you want to find the sector angle, you will write the number of students of Miss Patel, which is 18, over the total number of students, 80, and multiply it by 360. So the answer is 81. Question number 3. Mr. Lester has a fruit and vegetable shop. A. Apples cost 32 cents each. Suki buys 6 apples. Work out the change Mr. Lester gives Suki when she pays with a $10 note. So 32 apples each and she buys 6. First thing we will do is do 32 times 6, which will give us 192. This is in cents. We have to change it to dollar. To do that, we have to divide it by 100. So it is 1.92. This is the cost of the apples. Now she pays with a $10 note. So 10 minus 1.92, you will get 8.08. So she gets $8.08 back. In 3B, green grapes cost $3.10 per kilogram. Red grapes cost $2.80 per kilogram. Work out the total cost of buying 0.6 kilogram of green grapes and 3/4 kilogram of red grapes. So we have been given that they are buying 0.6 kilogram of green grapes, which is 3.10, plus 3/4 kilogram of always means multiply red grapes, which is having the cost of $2.8. And when you solve this, you will get 3.96. 3C. George spends $12 on fruit each week. The total amount he spends on food is $75. Work out the percentage of the $75 he spends on fruit. To find the percentage, we always have to first write down he spends $12 out of the $75 on food. To change to percentage, we times it by 100 and it's 16%. In D, Mr. Lester buys pineapples for $1.5 each. He makes 60% profit when he sells them. Work out the selling price of a pineapple. There are two ways to solve this question. One way is because he is making a profit. So you will write 60%. Percentage means you divide by 100 of 1.50. You will get 0.9. This you add it to your cost price. This will give us 2.40. So this is your answer. Whenever you have profit means increase or decrease questions, if we find the percentage by doing this method, and if it is an increase, we add it to the original price. If it is a decrease, we subtract it. The other way to do this is, if it is an increase, on the side you can do 100 plus 60 divided by 100, which will give us 1.6. If you practice enough, you will know how to do this. So if it is 60%, it will become 1.6 of the original price, which is our cost price, 1.5. If this you put in the calculator, again your answer is going to be 2.4. So whichever way you find easy, you can do that. 3E. The table shows the number of bananas bought by the last 50 customers. Find the range. Range means what? The highest value minus the lowest value. So the highest number of bananas bought are 6 and the lowest is 0. So our range is 6 minus 0, 6. And then for E2, we have to work out the median. In this question, we have that 0 numbers of bananas bought are 14. 1 is 0. 2 is 2. So what does this actually mean? It means that if I'm writing it in data form, it will be 0, 0, 0. I will write it 14 times. And then 1 I will write 0 time. And then 2 I will write 2 times. So we'll write the cumulative frequency here. 14. 14 plus 0 will give us 14. 14 plus 2, 16. 16 plus 5, 21. Plus 11, 32. Plus 8, 40. And plus 10, 50. The last number must be the same as the total numbers of customers. So there are 50. Median means the mid number. So 50 divided by 2 is 25. In which numbers year you will get 25? Till year 21 customers bought the bananas. So 25 will be here. Answer is 4. "25" gives us the position of the number. The next question asks us to calculate the mean. In a grouped frequency table like this, you will have to multiply the frequency by the number of bananas bought. So 0 times 14, 0. 1 times 0, 0. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 5, 15. 4 times 11, 44. 5 times 8, 40. 6 times 10, 60. We have to add all these numbers and we will get 163. To find the mean, we have to take this 163 and divide it by the frequency. Our frequency is 50. This will give us 3.26. Question number 4. The scale drawing shows town A, town B, and town C on a map. There is a straight road between town A and town B. The scale of the map is 1 centimeter, represents 8 kilometers. And we have to measure the bearing of town A from town B. When you measure this angle here, you will get 142. From B means we are supposed to find this part here. This will be 142 plus 180. It will give us 322. So the bearing of town A from town B is 322. In B, work out the actual distance in kilometers between town A and town B. The distance between town A and town B is 12 centimeter. We have been told the scale factor is 1 centimeter is equal to 8 kilometer. Therefore, 12 centimeter will equal to how much? We can cross multiply. So, x is equal to 8 multiplied by 12, which is 96. So, the answer is 96 kilometer. Question number C. Write the scale of the map in the form 1:n. When you have to write in this form, both the sides the unit must be same. We know that 1 centimeter is equal to 8 kilometer. This is centimeter here and there is kilometer here. I have to change it into centimeter. 1 kilometer is equal to 100,000 centimeter. Therefore, 1 centimeter is equal to 800,000 kilometer. The answer is 800,000. Question number D. A straight road from town C is on a bearing of 246. It meets the road from town A to town B at point X. On the map, draw the road from town C to point X. Label the point position of X. Okay, so C is on a bearing of 246 and it meets the road from A to B at point X. So somewhere here you will get. If it is 246, it means the inside angle will be 360 minus 246, that is 114. So if we take from here the line and we draw, it will be the inside one here should be 114. You have to put the protractor in this position. The C is here, so 90 degrees will be here. And we need to find 114 is going to be here. So this is 114 and this here is your X. Moving on to the next question, E1. Josie is at point X at 10:50. She arrives at town B 37 minutes later. Work out the time that she arrives at town B. We can do it in two ways. So she is at point X at 10:50. After 10 minutes, it's going to be 11 o'clock. And from the 37 minutes, if we subtract 10, we get 27. So at 11:27, she'll be at town B. The second way is the calculator way. In the calculator, there's this button where it's written FACT. You write your 10 from here, 10 hours, and then press this button. You will get this sign here. After that, put your minutes. We have 50 minutes. Press the button again, you will get this sign. And then we don't have seconds, but you still press the button and write 0 and then press the button. We want the time 37 minutes later. So we will add. We don't have any hours, so we'll put 0, press the button. Write 37, press the button. And we don't have any seconds. So in place of seconds, press the button. And you will get your answer 11 hours 11:27. 2. Sammy leaves town A and travels to town B at a constant speed of 75 kilometers per hour. A. Work out the time for this journey. Give your answer in hours and minutes, correct to the nearest minute. Here you can, what has been given to us? The distance between A and B from question number B, we know, is 96 kilometers. Speed is 75 kilometers per hour. Time is equal to distance over speed. So 96 divided by 75 will give you 1.28. But this is not in the form of hours and minutes, correct to the nearest centimeter. We'll have to change it. This is hours. Now to change it into hours and minutes, multiply the 28. This is hours. So we have 1 hour and 0.28 hours. To change from hours to minutes, we multiply by 60. So we will get 16.8 minutes. So if we round it, we have 1 hour, 17 minutes. Also, if you want to check your answer at this point, in the calculator you will get 1.28. Press the perfect button and you will get the answer 1 hour 17 minutes. You will actually get 1 hour 16 minutes and 48 seconds, but when we round it, it will become 1 hour 17 minutes. In B, Sammy wants to arrive at town B at the same time as Josie. Work out the time that Sammy must leave town A. In the previous question, we solved that Josie arrives at 11:27 and Sammy is going to take 1 hour 17 minutes. So we have to subtract 1 hour 17 minutes from 11:27. If this is 11 o'clock and 27 minutes, so if we subtract 1 hour and 17 minutes, we will get 10 hours 10 minutes. So he has to leave at 10:10. Question number 5 is related to transformations. The diagram shows 4 shapes A, B, C, and D and a point on a 1 centimeter square grid. A. Find the perimeter of shape A. So the perimeter is going to be, this side is 4, this is 4, 2, 2, 2, and 2. When you add all these numbers together, you will get 16 centimeter. So the perimeter is 16. In 2, they want you to find the area of shape A. For finding the area, make it into 2 parts. So let this be one part and this be the second part. Area of the first part is, it's a rectangle, so it's length times width. So it will be 4 times 2, 8. Area of the second one is also a rectangle, so length times width. We have this side as 2 and this side as 2. So 2 by 2, 4. Now we will add both the areas together, and when we do that, we'll get 12 square centimeter. B1, write down the coordinates of point P. So we have the coordinates of point P. First we write the x and then the y. So it's going to be 5, 2. In B2, they want us to find the coordinates of the image of point P when P is reflected in the y-axis. When it is reflected in the y-axis, the sign of x will change, but the y will remain the same. So our answer is going to be -5, 2. Let's see how we got that from the diagram. This is 5 units here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we move 5 units here, and that will be -5. So this is the reflected image, and the y is equal to x, y-axis. They want P is reflected in the line y is equal to 6. Y is equal to 6 is this line here, and we are reflecting P. How many squares away from P? 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we will do 1, 2. This is going to be your reflected image of P, and y is equal to 6. And what is the coordinate? The coordinate is 5, 10. Your x remains the same and your y changes. Okay, B3. Find the vector that translates point P to the point 49, -12. So there is a vector xy. When you add or subtract to P, you will get 49, -12. We'll write it in vector form. Plus P. What is our P? 5 and 2. Gives us 49 and negative 12. This 5 when we bring to the other side, it's a plus, it will become a minus. That will give us 44. Negative 12 minus 2 will give us negative 14. So this is your vector that translates the point P. 44, negative 14. C. Describe fully the single transformation that maps 1. Shape A onto shape B. It's a 3-mark question. This is shape A and this is shape B. We know that it is an enlargement. Whenever you have enlargement, you need 3 things to get your full 3 marks. You need to write that it is an enlargement. You need to find the center of enlargement. And you need to find your scale factor. To find the scale factor, you can see that there are 2 squares here and there is 1 square here. So the scale factor is half. Now we need to find the center. For finding the center, we will join this point here with this point, this with this. Wherever they intersect, that will be your center. So when we join these points, they meet at negative 3, 1. So our center is negative 3, 1. Then shape C onto shape D. So we have to describe this transformation. This is also 3 marks. Whenever you have a 3-mark question, if it is enlargement, you need 3 things. You need to have, you need to say it is enlargement, you need to have the scale factor, and you need to have the center. If it is rotation, again you need 3 things for you to get your full 3 marks. You need to describe that the transformation taking place is rotation. You need to find the rotation center, and you need to say the degrees it is rotated and whether it is clockwise or anti-clockwise. So they want us to find the rotation of C to D. The center of rotation is 4, 8 here. And use a tracing paper and you will understand that it is a rotation, center 4, 8, and it is 180 degrees. If it is 180 degrees, you don't need to write clockwise or anti-clockwise because either way you rotate, you will get the same position of the sketch. 6a. The grid shows the first 3 diagrams in a sequence. Each diagram is made using identical small squares. Each square has sides that are 1 unit long. And A1 is on the grid draw diagram 4. You can see that every time you're adding 1 unit here and here. So you added 1 to the main square. Now you added 2. So in the next diagram, we are going to add 3 squares. So this is our shape. Question number 2, we have to complete the table. You can see that 4 plus 8 is 12. 12 plus 8, 20. So the next one will be 20 plus 8, 28. Question number 3. Find an expression in terms of n for the perimeter of diagram n. Whenever you add or subtract to get the next term, it means that sequence is arithmetic sequence. And the formula to find the nth term in an arithmetic sequence is a plus n minus 1 d. A is your first term. D is your difference. Here in our sequence, our first term is 4 and our difference is 8. We'll just replace it in the equation. So 4 plus n minus 1, 8 will give us, expand the bracket, 8n minus 8, and when you simplify it, you will get 8n minus 4. There's a quicker way to get your nth term. You can write, what is your difference here? 8. So write it as 8n. And then from your first term, which is 4, we subtract 8. 4 minus 8 will give you negative 4. Moving on to the next question. For one of the diagrams in the sequence, the perimeter is 300 units. Work out its diagram number. We know that we can get the perimeter by using 8n minus 4. So we will write 8n minus 4 is equal to 300. We have to make n the subject. Divide both the sides by 8. And you will get that n is equal to 38. Next question. Diagram 3 is drawn on a piece of card. The side of each small square is 7 centimeter. The diagram is the net of an open box. Calculate the volume of this box. Give the units of your answer. This is diagram 3. They have told us that the side of each small square is 7 centimeter. So the length is 7, the width is 7, and the height is 7 and 7, 14. Volume of open box is length times width times height. From the diagram we know our length is 7, width is 7, and height is 14. When we multiply this, we'll get 686. They asked us to write it in the units. Volume is always cubic, so cubic centimeter. 6b. There are 4 diagrams in the sequence, and each diagram is made from small equilateral triangles. So these are the 4 diagrams. Write down the number of lines of symmetry of diagram C. Because they are made of equilateral triangle, so all the 3 sides are equal. The number of lines of symmetry will be 3. In B2, we are asked to complete the table. So number of white triangles in diagram 1, 2, and 3 is already given to us. We have to find in diagram 4. So we'll count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Number of gray triangles. In diagram 1, it is 0. Diagram 2, it is 1. And in diagram 4, it is 6. Total number of small triangles. 6 plus 3, 9, and 10 plus 6, 16. Question number 3. Find a formula in terms of n for the total number of small triangles T in diagram n. So we are looking at this sequence here. If you're familiar with your square numbers, you will see this is 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, and this is n. So this is going to be T is equal to n square. Question number 4. The formula for the number of white triangles W in diagram n is W is equal to half n bracket n plus 1. Show that this formula gives the correct number of white triangles when n is equal to 3. In place of n, we will put 3. So W is equal to half times 3 plus 1. Put this in the calculator and you will get 6. So when n is 3, the number of white triangles are 6. Question 5, we are asked to complete the statement for diagram 15. When n is 15, we have to find the number of white triangles, gray triangles, and the total number of small triangles. To find the total number of small triangles, we have already found the formula, which is n square. So in place of n, we will put 15 and we will square it, and the answer is going to be 225. We have also been given the formula to find the number of white triangles. So W is equal to half n plus 1. In place of n, we will put 15. And this will give us 120. Now only the gray is remaining. If you look at the sequence here, you will see that the total number of triangles minus the white triangles gives us the gray triangles. So our total number of triangles in diagram 15 are 225. And the total number of white triangles in diagram 15 are 120. When you subtract them, you will get 105. So the number of gray triangles are 105. The next question, a triangle is isosceles. One of its angles is 96. Find the other two angles. When you have a question like that, it's a very good idea to just make a small sketch on the side. And when we do that, we will get this triangle. This angle is 96. Because it is an isosceles triangle, the two angles will be equal to each other. All the three angles, when you add them together, will equal to 180. So x plus x plus 96 is equal to 180. 2x is equal to 180 minus 96. Therefore, 2x is equal to 84. X is equal to 84 divided by 2, 42. So the two angles are 42 and 42. In the next question, we have to find the value of x. We have been given this diagram, and you should know that angle at a point equal to 360. So when you add all of these angles, they will equal to 360. Therefore, 45 plus 3x plus 5x plus 6x is equal to 360. 14x is equal to 360. This 45, if I bring to the other side, it will become negative 45. 360 minus 45 is 315. This is a multiply here. When I bring to the other side, it will be a divide. So 315 divided by 14 will give you 22.5. So the value of x is 22.5. Work out the size of one interior angle of a regular polygon with 20 sides. The formula to find one interior angle is n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. N is the number of sides. Here we have 20, so 20 minus 2 multiplied by 180 divided by 20. And this will give us 162. So the size of one interior angle is 162. In D, we have been given a triangle and two sides have been given. It's a right angle triangle. We have to calculate the length AB. So AB is your hypotenuse. We'll use the Pythagoras theorem, which is A square plus B square is equal to C square. Therefore, 7.4 square plus 2.3 square is equal to C square. Whenever the hypotenuse is given to you, you will always add the other two numbers, square them, and then square root. Put the whole thing in the calculator and you will find your C, which is equal to 7.749. We'll round it to 2 decimal place, 7.75. C was our AB, so AB is 7.75. In E, we have been given a circle and a triangle inside the circle. And the diagram shows the vertices of a triangle lying on the circumference of a circle with center O. So if this is center O, this is your diameter. The angle opposite your diameter or angle in a semicircle equals 90. So this is 90. Therefore, B will be B plus 90 plus 61. The three angles, when you add them together, they will equal to 180. B plus 151 is equal to 180 and B is equal to 180 minus 151. That will be 29. So B is 29 degrees because angle in a semicircle equals 90 degrees. In this question, we are asked to find the coordinates of the point where the line y is equal to 6x minus 3 crosses the y-axis. Whenever it crosses the y-axis, it means your x is 0. So in place of x, we will put 0. 6 times 0 minus 3, y is negative 3. So when x is 0, y is negative 3. The next question tells us to find the equation of the straight line that passes through the origin and is parallel to y is equal to 6x minus 3. When two lines are parallel, the gradients are same. If we are writing in this format, y is equal to mx plus c, m is your gradient. In this line, our gradient is 6. So gradient is 6 and it passes through the origin. Origin means your x and y is 0. We will substitute our values here, y, m and x, to find c. But you should know that if you have a line passing through the origin, the c is going to be 0. So your answer is only going to be y is equal to 6x. Suppose you had another number, not 0, 0, and you were trying to find the equation of the straight line. Then we will replace the y, which is 0 here in this case, the m, which is 6, and x, which is 0, to find c. 0 is equal to c. On the grid, draw the line through the point negative 3, negative 2. That is perpendicular to the y-axis. Where is negative 3, negative 2? It is here. Perpendicular to the y-axis means this is your y-axis. If you make it perpendicular, it will go like this. So this is the line that we have to draw. The next question, on the grid, draw the line y is equal to negative 2x. It's a good idea to make a table and substitute a few values of x to find the corresponding y value. So when we'll make the table here. This is x and this is y. When x is negative 4, in place of x here, substitute negative 4 and you will get 8. Take negative 1. When x is negative 1, so negative 2 times negative 1 will become 2. Then when x is 0, y is also 0. When x is 2, what do you get? Negative 4. So now we'll plot the points. Negative 4, 8 is not in our range, so we will continue with these three numbers we got. When x is negative 1, y is 2. This is 1 point. When x is 0, y is 0. And when x is 2, y is negative 4. So we can join this line here. We are done with joining the line. In C, the equations of two straight lines are given to us, and we have to use the algebra to solve the two simultaneous equations to find the coordinates of the point where the lines meet. You must show all your working. You can solve it by making y equals y. 3x plus 13 is equal to 7x minus 3. Bring all the x on one side and the number on one side. The 3x is smaller than 7x, so I brought it to the other side. And the negative 3 I brought here, it became positive 3. So we have 16 is equal to 4x. This is a multiply here. When I bring the 4 to the other side, it will become divide. So 4 is equal to x. We have found our x, now we need to find y. To find y, you can substitute in whichever equation you want to substitute. So I will say substitute x is equal to 4 in y is equal to 3x plus 13. In place of x, we put 4. 12 plus 13, 25. So when x is 4, y is 25. This is the point where the two lines meet. The next question. Zach goes on holiday. The next question. Zach goes on holiday. The mass m kilograms of his suitcase is 23.5 kilograms. Correct to the nearest 500 grams. Complete the statement about the value of m. So he is rounding it to 500 grams. We will write here 23.5 and then 0 here. When he's adding it to 500 grams, if you divide it by 2, you will get 250. If you convert it into kilogram, it will be 0.25. So one time you subtract 0.25 and one time you add 0.25. When you subtract, you will get 23.25. When you add, you will get 23.75. Next question. The ratio of the costs of flights and hotels is in the ratio 3:8. The cost of the flight is $861. Work out the total cost of flights and hotels. To find the total cost, first let's write what fraction of the total cost is flights. It's 3 over 11. You add 3 plus 8 and you will get 11. So 3 parts of 11 of the total is your flight cost, which is 861. To find the total, do 861. This is a divide here. The 11 is a divide here. Bring to the other side, it will become multiply. And 3 is a multiply, it will become divide. You can write it as 11 over 3. Or the denominator becomes the numerator and the numerator becomes the denominator. The total cost is $3157. You can also do 861 divided by 3 over 11 and you will get the same answer, 3157. Whichever way you understand. In C, we have been given the currency rates of dollars to euros and pounds to euros. Let's read the question. Zach changes $575 into euros. He spends 45% of the euros in France and changes the euros he does not use into pounds to spend in England. How many pounds does he receive? There are a couple of steps that we need to do here. First thing we will do is convert the $575 into euros. This is the dollar and this is the euros. $1 is equal to 0.88 euros. Therefore, $575 is equal to how many euros? We cross multiply. We get x is equal to 0.88 times 575. Therefore, x is equal to 506. So the total amount of euros that he gets is 506. The next step, he spends 45% of the euros in France. So we have to find 45% of 506. That is 227.70. Out of 506, he spends 227.70. So remaining is 278.30. Now he wants to change this euros into pounds. Again, we'll write pounds and euros. 1 pound is equal to 1.15 euros. Therefore, 278.30 is equal to x pounds. Cross multiply and we will get 1 multiplied by 278.30 is equal to 1.15 multiplied by x. Divide 278.30 with 1.15 and you will get pound 242. So this is the pounds that he receives. Kindly subscribe and like my channel and share it with your friends. Thank you for watching.